So, in this video, we are going to discuss the different school of Buddhism. So, there are basically three types of school. The first one is Hinayana, second one is Mahayana, and the third one is Vajrayana. Now, what is Hinayana school? This is also known as Theravada. So, literally means that means Hinayana literally means the lesser path, and Theravada signifies the doctrine of elders. Now, Mahayana literally means the greater path. The term Mahayana and Hinayana were given by Mahayana school. Now, Vajrayana literally means the vehicle of thunderbolt. The Vajrayana or diamond vehicle is also referred to as the Mantrayana, Tantrayana, Tantric or esoteric Buddhism. Okay, now second one is these are the difference between Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. Now Mahayana, two shift philosophy in Mahayana, two shift philosophy school are there. Okay, two shift philosophy school are there. That means before going to so the types of Mahayana school, first let me discuss about Hinayana. Hinayana considered the orthodox school and to be true to Gautam Buddha's teaching than Mahayana. So this is the orthodox school and to be true to Gautam Buddha's teaching than Mahayana. That means they prefer the Gautam Buddha teaching. And the Theravada, this is the original school of Buddhist philosophy. Theravada was the original school of Buddhist philosophy. Now Mahayana, the heterodox school of Buddhist philosophy was Mahayana, and it originated later than Hinayana. So it is new compared to Hinayana school, and it has two philosophical school. That means Mahayana. There are two types of philosophical school in Mahayana. First one is the Madhyamika school, and the second one is the Yogasara school. So Mahayana, two types of philosophy in Mahayana school. There are two types. One is the Madhyamika, and another is the Yogasara. Now in Vajrayana, if you uh, if we discuss the Vajrayana, this period of Indian Vajrayana Buddhism, and therefore before going to this one appeared, that is Vajrayana appeared in the eastern India in 8th century and finally established in Tibet in the 11th century. And this period of Indian Vajrayana has been classified as the final period of Buddhism in India. So this Vajrayana has been classified as the final period of Buddhism in India, and it appeared in the eastern India in 8th century and finally established in Tibet in the 11th century. Now, third point, in Hinayana, the scriptures are in Pali language, the language that Buddha taught in. That means the Hinayana scriptures were written in Pali language, but in Mahayana the scriptures are written in Sanskrit, the language of Indian scholasticism. So the Mahayana, the scriptures are in Mahayana school of Buddhism, the scriptures are written in Sanskrit. In Hinayana school, the scriptures are written in Pali language, and in Vajrayana school, most of the terms originate in the Sanskrit language of Tantric Indian Buddhism. But since it deals with inner experiences, the Vajrayana texts use a highly symbolic language, which is also known as Samdhaya Bhasha. That means they used symbolic language, and which is known as Samdhaya Bhasha. The fourth point is Hinayana treats Buddha as a nothing more than a human being. But in Mahayana school of Buddhism, they treat Buddha as God and worship idols of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas embodying Buddha nature. So they that means they treat Buddha as a god, but in Hinayana, they treat Buddha as a nothing more than a human being. Now, and this in Vajrayana, consider themselves, that means consider the in the school, in the Vajrayana school of Buddhism, consider themselves as a quicker, more effective path to enlightenment, salvation, and they said that salvation can be best attained by acquiring the magical power, which they call Vajra. This is the fourth point. That is the difference between Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. So in Hinayana, they treat Buddha as nothing more than a human being. In Mahayana, they treat Buddha as a god and worship idols of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas embodying the Buddha nature. And in Vajrayana, they consider themselves as a quicker, more effective path to enlightenment. And they say that salvation can be best attained by acquiring the magical power which they call Vajra. Next, Hinayana, that means at present, it is found in Sri Lanka. At present, the Hinayana, that means Hinayana religion, religion or Hinayana religion, or types of uh, religion was found in Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, and other parts of Southeast Asia. And Asoka patronized Hinayana. The Mauryan king, great ruler of Maurya Kingdom, Asoka patronized the Hinayana. Now, Mahayana, at present found in Japan, China, and other Asian countries. And Konishka patronized Mahayana. So, Asoka patronized Hinayana, Konishka patronized Mahayana. And later, Harshavardhan supported it. Now, Vajrayana became popular in eastern India, particularly Bengal and Bihar. Predominant in Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, and Mongolia. So, Hinayana presently found in Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, and other parts of Southeast Asia. Mahayana at present found in Japan, China, and other Asian countries. And in Hinayana, Asoka, the great ruler of Maurya Kingdom, Asoka or Maurya dynasty, Asoka patronized Hinayana, but Konishka patronized Mahayana, and after later Harshavardhan supported it. And Vajrayana popularly predominant in eastern India, and particularly Bengal and Bihar, then Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, and Mongolia. Now, early Buddhist literature, the all branches of Buddhism have the Tripitaka as a part of their core scriptures, which comprises of three books. I mean, Tripitaka comprises of three books. The first one is Sutta Pitaka, that is the conventional teaching of Gautam Buddha. Second one is the Vinaya Pitaka, this is the disciplinary code. And third one is the Abhidhamma Pitaka. This one is moral psychology. So these are the three types of books. That is the Tripitaka was the branch, that means was the part of their Buddhist literature. And this Tripitaka consists of three books. One is Sutta Pitaka, one is the Vinaya Pitaka, and third one is the Abhidhamma. So Sutta Pitaka means the conventional teaching of Gautam Buddha. Vinaya Pitaka is a descriptionary code, and the Abhidhamma Pitaka was the moral psychology. Now, Sutta Pitaka or Sutra or basket of discourse. Discourse means discussion or which was spoken or written. So, this contains the Buddha's discourse, what the Buddha, the Buddha's principle written in written form. This is a Sutta Pitaka. Now, this contains the Buddha's discourses on various doctrine issues in dialogue format. Here, the various principles of Buddha are present in the Sutta Pitaka, the various principles of Buddha are in dialogue format. These texts are also known as Buddhavakana, or the world of Buddha, as it refers to texts that are supposed to contain what the Buddha himself said. So these texts are known as Buddhavakana or the world of Buddha because it refers to the texts that are supposed to contain what Buddha himself said. That's why they are known as the world of Buddha. The second one is Vinaya Pitaka or discipline basket. Now this contains rules for monks and nuns of monastic order. This is a Sangha. It includes Patimokka, that is a list of transgression against monastic discipline and atonements for this. Transgression means crime or an act that goes against the law. So this Patimokka includes a list of transgression, that means a list of crime against monastic discipline and how you amend this crime. That means atonement means amend for wrongdoing. So the Patimokka includes a list of crime list and against the monastic discipline, and in this book itself the remedy for your crime were also given. That means the atonement, the amendment for wrongdoing, this is also given in the Patimokka. Also includes ritual in the Vinaya Pitaka, also includes ritual text, biographical stories, and some elements of Jataka or birth stories. Jataka is very important. Jataka is a birth story. So this Vinaya Pitaka includes ritual text, then biographical stories, and some elements of the Jataka or the birth stories. Now the third one is the Abhidhamma Pitaka. So what is the Abhidhamma Pitaka? It is a basket of higher teaching. So this contains thorough study and systemization of the teaching of Sutta Pitaka. That is, in the Abhidhamma Pitaka, the thorough study and systemization of teaching of Sutta Pitaka through summaries, question and answer list, etc. That means in Abhidhamma Pitaka, the teaching of Sutta Pitaka is the first one. The teaching of Sutta Pitaka, that means the teaching of Sutta Pitaka, it has that means the Abhidhamma Pitaka has the thorough study and systemization of teaching of Sutta Pitaka. Sutta Pitaka jikhini asil, teaching jikhini asil, that systemization or thorough study to Abhidhamma Pitaka ase through summaries, question, answers, etc. Now this is very important. Life of Buddha. So Buddha or Gautam Buddha was born as Siddhartha in 563 BC on Boisak Purnima day, and he was born on Lumbini Phana near Kapilavastu, Nepal, or this is Lumbini Phana, also known as Lumbini. Gautam Buddha's father was Suddhodana of the Sakaya clan, who ruled from Kapilavastu in the Kosala kingdom. And Gautam Buddha's mother was Mahamaya, princess of Kosala dynasty, but she died after giving birth Buddha. She died after giving birth Buddha after 7 days. That means gave birth and died 7 days after his birth. That means after birth of Buddha, after 7 days of birth of Buddha, his mother Mahamaya died, and he was brought up by stepmother or an aunt Gautami. He was raised or brought up by stepmother and aunt Gautami, and it is believed that soon after he was born, certain Brahmins saw the 32 marks of a Mahapurukh, that is a great man, on his body, and predicted that either he will be a world conqueror or a world renouncer. Renouncer means what? Who abolish the or who abandon the material comfort. This is not a renouncer. Jone moh maya sob tyag kori diye, teyok koha renouncer boli. So when he was born, some certain Brahmins saw the 32 marks of a Mahapurukh in him. So they predicted that either he will be a great conqueror or a word conqueror or a word renouncer. So his father wanted to keep him away from the path of renunciation. Renunciation means abandonment of material comfort. So his father, since his father was king, so his father did not want him to be a renouncer. That's why he keep him away from the path of renunciation. Then hence he shielded him from all of his sorrows and brought him up in luxury comfort. So he was born at the early age. He was married to Yasodhara, the princess of Sakya dynasty, at the early age of 16 years. So he was born at 16 years, and he had a son named Rahul. Gautam Buddha had a son named Rahul. Now at the age of 29, after seeing an old man, this is very important for exam point of view, at the age of 29, after seeing an old man, a sick man, a corpse means dead body, and an ascetic. Ascetic means sannyasi. Ascetic. He decided to become wanderer and left his palace with Sana. It was the name of the charioteer. Charioteer means the who that drive the charioteer. So it is Sana who drive the charioteer. So he left his palace with Sana. This is very important. For example, the Sana, the name of the charioteer, and his favorite horse. This is very important. His favorite horse name was Kantaka. In searching of truth, that is known as the Mahavini Niskarmana or Great Renunciation. It is known as the Mahavini Niskarmana or Great Renunciation. So this is very important. In exam it came that at what age Gautam Buddha left his palace and searched for the great truth or the great renunciation or great truth. So answer will be at the age of 29, and this event is known as Mahavini Niskarmana or great renunciation, and wandered for 6 years. So he wandered for 6 years. At the age of 35, this is also important, he ultimately attained nirvana or enlightenment at Gaya, which was in Magadha, present Bihar, under a peepal tree at Uruvela on the banks of river Niranjana. These are very important information for exam point of view. So at the age of 35, he ultimately attained nirvana or enlightenment at Gaya, which is in Magadha, Bihar, under a peepal tree at Uruvela on the bank of river Niranjana, and came to be known as Buddha, the enlightened one. This peepal tree tree was known as famous Bodhi tree. This peepal tree was known as famous Bodhi tree. So this peepal tree was known as famous Bodhi tree. Now Gautam Buddha's first teacher name was Alara Kalama. This is very important. Gautam Buddha's first teacher name Alara Kalama, who is a Sankhya philosopher, from whom he learned the technique of meditation. And he for 49 days he continued his meditation. That continuous meditation, he has done continuous meditation for 49 days. Then next event, Buddha delivered his first sermon on deliverance from suffering to his 5 former companions in a deer park at Sarnath. This is presently in Uttar Pradesh. This event is known as Dharmasakra Parvartan, meaning the wheel of Dharma. This is also, so which event is known as Dharmasakra Parvartan? He delivered his first sermon at Sarnath, UP, Uttar Pradesh. This event is known as Dharmasakra Parvartan, meaning the wheel of the Dharma. Then his 5 disciples soon realized the truth themselves and became arhats. Buddha established an order of monks and nuns known as the Sangha. So Buddha established a order of monks and nuns which are known as the Sangha. Buddha established a order of monks and nuns which was known as the Sangha. So Buddha established an order of monks and nuns known as Sangha. Now see, his 5 disciples soon realized the truth themselves and become arhants. Arhants means blessed one. No, it is not arhats, it is arhants. Now finally he attained parinirvana, death, at the age of 80. This is very important. Parinirvana at the age of 80 in 483 BC at Kushinagar, which is also in present Uttar Pradesh. It is the and Kushinagar was the capital of Malla, and Malla, that is the Mahajanpad. Mahajanpadas. This is the Malla, and Kushinagar was the capital of Malla. So finally he attained the Parivartan, which is the death at the age of 80 in 483 BC. Now it is believed that his last words were, "All composite things decay, strive diligently." That means all things in some point, all the composite thing will decay. It is believed that it is believed that his last words were this one: all composite things decay, strive diligently. Now some important names of or person to be remembered in Buddha's life. The first one is Kanthaka. I have already mentioned Buddha's horse. Sana, Buddha's charioteer, this is the who drive the chariot. Then Devadatta, Buddha's cousin, and Sujata, the farmer's daughter who gave him rice milk at Bodh Gaya. So Sujata was the farmer's daughter who gave him rice milk at Bodh Gaya. And in Bodh Gaya, what happened? What is the uh, uh, event on Bodh Gaya? He attained his nirvana enlightenment at Bodh Gaya and under people tree. So at that Bodh Gaya, one farmer's daughter gave him rice milk at Bodh Gaya. This is very important, Sujata. Now, doctrine of Buddhism. Doctrine means belief or set of beliefs. Doctrine of Buddhism. The first one is Satawari Arya Satyayani. These are 4 noble truths. So, doctrine of Buddhism contains 4 noble truths. The first one is life is full of sorrow, which is dukh. Sabam dukkam. Second one, there are causes of sorrow. This is dukkha samudaya. There are causes of sorrow. Life is full of sorrow. First truth. Second is there are causes of sorrow. Dukhor karon ase. So dukkha samudaya, dodes nidan, or protitaya samutpada. Third one is this sorrow can be stopped. Dukhoni road, that is nirvana. That means এই sorrow আমি stop কৰিব পাৰো, দুখ stop কৰিব পাৰো. Fourth one is there is a path leading to the cessation of sorrow. So there is a path, dukh nirodha gamini pratipada, and this is the eightfold path, the great asthangika marg, which one is known as asthangika marg. So first one is 4 truth. First one is life is full of sorrow. Life full of sorrow. There are causes of sorrow, which is dodes nidhan or protitya samutpada. Third one is the sorrow can be stopped, dukhni road or nirvana, and there is a path leading to the cessation of sorrow, dukh nirodha jamini pratipada. This is the asthangika mark, eightfold path, and this is very important. What are the eightfold paths? The first one is right observation. Second one is right determination. Third one is right speech. Fourth one is right action. Fifth one is right livelihood. Sixth one is right exercise. Seventh one is right memory. And eighth one is right meditation. So these are the 8 famous path or eightfold path, which is known as Ashtangika marg. Now the great event of Buddha's life. What are the great event of Buddha's life? So first you can remember, I have given in a table. So first is, then place, event name, and symbol. So actually Buddha's life is represented in 5 forms. The events of Buddha's life, this is very important. The events of Buddha's life is represented in five forms. So first one is Lumbini Vana, where he born. He was born at Lumbini Vana at the age of what? 0. That means he was born in Lumbini Vana. This event name is Janma, or this is birth. That is Janma means birth, and this event is symbolized by lotus and bull. This is very important. Which event is symbolized by which symbol? So the birth Lumbini Vana, which one is Nepal, event name Janma, birth, and symbolized lotus and bull. At the age of 19, I have already mentioned, at the age of 29, that is at also Lumbini Vana, Nepal, he left his palace, which is known as the Mohavini Niskarmana or renunciation. Renunciation means abandonment. Renunciation means what? Renunciation means your abandonment of all material comfort, and this is symbolized by horse. So at the age of 35, he gave his first, he attained enlightenment. At the age of 35, he attained enlightenment at under the people tree at Bodh Gaya, which is in Bihar, which is now in Bihar. So at the age of 35, he attained nirvana or enlightenment, and at the under people tree or Bodhi tree. Now this event is not a nirvana or somebody enlightenment, and this event is symbolized by Bodhi tree. Then again at the age of 35, at the place Sarnath, this is Uttar Pradesh, he gave his first sermon, which is known as the Dharmasakra Parvartana. Dharmasakra Parvartana, and this is represented or symbolized by wheel. The last one is at the age of 80. He died at the age of 80 at Kushinagar, which one is also in UP, Uttar Pradesh. See, Sarnath is also UP, and Kushinagar is also in UP, Uttar Pradesh, and he died at the age of 80, and this is known as the Mahaparinirvana, death, that is, and this is symbolized by stupa. Now, beside this eightfold path, Buddhism also beside the eightfold path, Buddhism also said a Madhya Marg or Madhyama Pratipada. This is the middle path. So what is the middle path? Men should avoid both extremes. There is a life of comfort and luxury and a life of severe asceticism. That means this is the Madhya Marg or the middle path. Middle path is what? Men should avoid both extremes. एकदम extreme comfort to एरिव লাগিব और extreme asceticism में সন্ন্যাসী asceticism और extreme life to एरिव লাগিব. Men should be in the middle. This is the Madhya Marg or Madhyama Pratipada. Okay, now 3 jewels of Buddhism, very important. This is known as the Triratna. 3 jewels of Buddhism. This is known as the Triratna, 3 jewels of Buddhism. First one is Buddha. This is enlightenment. Second is Dharma. This is doctrine. And third one is Sangha. This is commune. So these are the three Ratna of Buddhism. These are 3 Ratna of Buddhism. 3 jewels of Buddhism, very important for exam point of view. First one is Buddha, enlightenment. Second one is Dharma, doctrine. Third one is Sangha, commune. Now, this is very important. Buddhist Council. When and in which year, who is the chairman, who is the patron, these are very important for exam point of view. Now, Buddhist Council, the first Buddhist Council was held in 483 BC. Henu was Saptaparni cave, Rajgriha. Chairman was Moha Kapasa, and the patron was Ajatasattu, Haryanka dynasty. He was the king of Haryanka dynasty. So, first Buddhist Council, this is very important, was held in the 483 BC. That in Saptaparni cave Rajagriha, and chairman was your Mohakapasa, and patron was Ajatasattu. This is the Haryanka dynasty. Third, the second Buddhist council was held in 383 BC. Henu was your Salubhanga, Boisali. Salubhanga which is Boisali. Now chairman was Sabba Kami and patron was chairman of Sabba Kami, patron was Kal Asoka, which was king of Sisunga dynasty. This is very important. Third Buddhist Council, it was held in 250 BC, and Venu was Osokkarma Bihar Pataliputra, and chairman was Mongoliputra Tisa, and this is very important. First patron Osok, the great ruler of Maurya dynasty. So this is very important. Third Buddhist Council, and the fourth Buddhist Council was held in 98 AD. Venu was Kundalavana, Kashmir. It was held in Kashmir. This is also very important. The last Buddhist Council. Chairman was Bosumitra, and vice chairman was Ashbhogosa, and patron was Kanishka. He was king of Kusana dynasty. Now, if you look at the table, BC, now see BC in BC, just remember this one. BC means before Christ. So BC means in BC, your 400 BC will come before 300 BC. It is decreasing. That means backward in BC. What happened? The year came in backward direction. So 400 BC came before 300 BC. That's why see, first one is 483 BC, next one is 383 BC. They are decreasing. Next one is 252 BC. So BC means before Christ. That means the 483 BC came before 383 BC. Then 383 BC before Christ came before 250 BC. Okay, but in AD, AD means Anno Domini. Okay, that is after Jesus Christ born. This is the before Christ. BC means before Christ. This is before Jesus Christ born, and this was the after. The acronym is Anno Domini. This is after Jesus Christ is born. AD means this present day AD. In AD 98 AD, then at 98 AD, fourth Buddhist Council was held in 98 AD. That means now 100 AD will come after 90 AD. That's it. This is the forward direction. That means BC, if you draw like this will be suppose 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. Suppose BC, 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 up to suppose this one. So 5 BC will come before 4 BC. This is backward direction. 4 BC will come before 3 BC. 2 BC will come before 1st BC. But in that, if you compare it with a number line, there is a number line, no? In maths, 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, in the left hand, right hand side, and this is in the left hand side -1, this is -2, this is -3. If you compare this year with a number line, in the left hand side there is BC, and they are in decreasing or in backward direction. 5 BC will come before 4 BC, 4 BC will come before 3 BC, 3 BC will come before 2 BC, and AD is in the right hand side. Suppose 1 AD, suppose 2 AD, suppose 3 AD. So here see, 1 AD come before 2 AD, 2 AD come before 3 AD. It is a forward direction, but it is in the BC always come in the backward direction. So don't be confused here. That's why here 483 BC came before 383 BC. 383 BC came before 250 BC. That's why. Okay. So this will end our Buddhism, life of Buddhism. And question will come, whatever I have given in the video, two videos, the introduction of Buddhism and script if you start first introduction of Buddhism, then your what type of schools of Buddhism are there, then causes of Buddhism, then your literature of Buddhism. So this one, the literature of Buddhism, early literature, then early life of Buddha. So except this, no question come except that means no question come outside of this notes. all the, that means if some question comes on Buddhism topic, then all the answers are given in the video. So if you go through the video, then you can answer all the question based on the topic Buddhism. Okay, so thank you.